It's a Thursday evening, which means only one thing.
Beer o'clock.
The day ends in a Y. It's Podcast Thursdays. Dicko, Matty Mainwaring, Stockport County Live. Boys, how are we?
It's getting more and more out of hand this every Thursday.
Thirsty, mate. I'm thirsty. That's how I am.
Got hiccups.
Promise myself I won't have a drink tonight. I promise myself I'm not doing it. I'll have water. I'll have a water tonight. 5 minutes before we came on. Babe. Once at shop, get us 4 bud.
I'm parched.
Yeah.
Did you do it as well?
This water's dehydrating me. Come
on. I've decided to lay off tonight. Last week was a bad influence. And, I ended up.
By the way, when we went off air, he was telling us what he loves us and everything.
Mate,
please meet up soon. Yeah, come on. He was trying to book lads' holidays.
Pandemic. Listen, tonight, Elliot Newby is going to be joining us in a couple of minutes. He obviously new signing, man of the match the other night, made what you would call an instant impact. I'm looking forward to having him on. He looks like quite a player.
Oh, you don't get man of the match if you crap, mate. Putting a good performance in, good result, and for him to get man of the match, it shows his class in there and his work rate and he looks like he's fitting in really nicely.
I tell you what, I'm not going to say anything else. Let's bring him straight in on that. What an intro from Liam Dickinson, Elliot Newby. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening, everyone.
Your bank details, pal. Just put in a bit.
Ever the warmer up. Elliot, welcome to Stockport County Live. Liam Dickinson, Matty Mainwaring around the sides of us there. For a start, welcome to Stockport County. How are you finding things?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Settled in really, really well. I think obviously at football clubs, when you come to a new team, you do kind of know a couple of people that you've played sort of with and against, which sort of helps you settle in a bit more. Obviously, for me, it was quite good as well to have Harry coming in from Chorley as well. So it was kind of a new experience for us both at the same time, which kind of made it a bit easier as well.
How have you found the step up in level of obviously going from Chorley to a huge club like Stockport County?
In terms of the professional, it's obviously a much more professional setup at Stockport. In terms of the training schedule and everything, the infrastructure's been one of the sort of things that's been really impressive of the club in terms of how everything, the training ground, how professional everything is surrounding match days and everything like that. That's something that's really impressed me. That's been obviously quite different from Chorley.
Yeah. What about Chorley was Chorley part time or?
Yeah, so we've always been kind of part time.
Yeah.
They've kind of put an extra day in this year, so there's like a Monday training session, which is probably similar to what Stockport used to do.
Yeah.
There was kind of a Monday session which the lads that could get to kind of got to through the day, just to kind of add that extra session in, which did kind of help us this season, to be fair.
Full time is not much more than that anyway, to be honest, mate.
No.
When you play 2 games a week, a lot of the sessions are built around recovery, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's obviously when you played a game on a Tuesday, Wednesday you normally have a day off anyway, and then Thursday you're kind of still recovering from the game and then preparing for the next game. So that's the way you kind of like it, though. It's you want to be playing games, don't you? Really.
It's been a while since I've had a Wednesday off. I used to work Tuesday night. Tuesday is in Manchester at Birdcage. Off on a Wednesday.
Not
anymore, pal. Not anymore.
Elliot, you've come to Stockport County at a time. I said the same thing to Jack Stretton the other night. You've come to County at a time of transition. Your owners are in, clubs moving through the levels, a few new players in. Like you say, it's good that one of your teammates has come with you, new manager as well. How does it feel? Does it feel like things are happening at the club, or for you, is it just a case of coming in and trying your best to settle in?
Well, obviously, I'm thinking of personally that I want to kind of show what I can do and obviously help the team, but you can see straight away the sort of ambition the club's got. I remember speaking to Simon Wilson, the director of football, when I was just coming in to sign, and he kind of told me everything about sort of what the club have on and what they can offer for players. And it's obviously a really they're in a good position to offer to attract players. I think because it's kind of so professional and everything sort of seems to be getting done the right way there, which is really good.
How did it come about? Obviously, with everything that's going on at Chorley, with the fact that the season's a season of upheaval, not just for Chorley, but for every club in that division. Was it just a case of all the players waiting for the phones to ring and hoping that offers come in, and if they do, you hope it's a good one, or did you have a few offers on the table? How did that kind of play out?
Well, we were just kind of preparing for a game at the time. I think we were training on a Thursday, and we were one of the clubs that wanted to carry on, so we'd ended up playing the previous 2 weeks, and we were preparing for another game. I think we were playing York on the Saturday, and we were just training on the Thursday night, and then literally as we were playing a few matches in training, the gaffer kind of blew his whistle and called us over and just said, "Right, lads, the season's ended," which is kind of interesting. Just kind of like that, and it's just like, right, what's going to happen now? So it was kind of a bit. No one kind of knew what was happening at the time, but the manager at Chorley did say, "Look, lads, if there's any options for you to carry on playing at the moment, in terms of a loan to like a National League team, then he'd be happy to let us go," which I thought was really good. Because obviously at the moment there's kind of not a lot going on in the world, and for you to be able to play football and have that kind of normality is something it's really good.
I'm trying to put it into. I'm trying to imagine the scenario, because like you say, you don't have this sense of security or normality or anything like that. What are the other players at Chorley doing? Do you speak to any of them? Are there any that haven't found clubs?
Yeah, so I think only me and Harry have managed to sign for a club. So there's not really a lot going on there, but they are carrying on training at the moment, because obviously with the way the sort of elite status was put out, I think they are allowed to carry on training, and they are allowed to carry on playing friendlies as well. So they're kind of just preparing for next season and trying to sort of finish the season with some kind of normality, and then obviously hoping that it helps into next season, not having too long a break.
I find that very odd, me, because play friendlies but not playing sort of competitive games. You'd be much better off surely playing competitive games behind closed doors, but seeing the season out and keeping things in time.
Was it a vote from the clubs?
Sorry, what was that?
Was it a vote from the clubs that
Yeah. So the way it worked, from what I know, was the clubs were kind of given some options. It was the same in the National League. It was kind of vote one way or the other. And I think it was very close on what clubs wanted to do, but they just voted for the season to be null and void in the end. But then there was kind of like the clubs that did want to carry on, I think, put a proposal across to the league, kind of wanting to carry on playing games. But that's just been last week. I think that's been rejected. So that's kind of it really for National North clubs, I think now.
Yeah.
It's an odd one, that, isn't it? Because you get some clubs that would love it to be stopped because they're not doing so well, and then others that are thinking, "No, we were on our way there. We're in the top of the division." Yeah, it reminds you sort of, in the school playground, you're 13-2 up, and it's next goal winning. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. For some clubs, I think it probably feels like they were kind of on the way to getting promoted, and then suddenly someone just told them, kind of swept the rug from underneath them, and they've got to start again next year. I suppose that's the worst thing really for clubs that are.
And we all know how hard it is to go up out of that division.
Anyway. I suppose for the likes of yourself and Harry, it's kind of a blessing in disguise, really.
Definitely, yeah.
You've got a chance now to obviously you've got a foot in the door in the National League to impress, and whether it be with Stockport County next season or another national team or a league team, you've got a great opportunity here to push on with your career personally, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it's just if you look at what the other option is, it's not playing at all and just playing pre-season friendly training. So to have the option to come to a team like Stockport, who's obviously really ambitious, are doing really well in the league, a team that plays, attacking football, wants to win as many games as possible. Yeah. And it's a really good situation to find yourself in, really. So I do feel quite lucky to be able to get in this situation, because I know there's a lot of lads in the National North and South who will be kind of wishing now they could be carrying on playing. So
yeah, I feel like you've come to County though at a really good stage, because it's only the last 18 months, and you can see this transition happening, and you can see the the fans, the players, the staff, it's like they're looking forward now rather than right. We're in the Conference North, or we'll try and get into the national. Now the expectations are higher now, and the players and the staff and everyone involved with the club want to kick on and get Stockport County back to where they belong in the Football League. And I feel like this is a fantastic time to be around the place.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that. Like I said, it feels like there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of people wanting to push the club in the right direction, and when kind of everyone wants that and everyone's pushing in the same direction, there's that positivity surrounding what's going on. Then it does feel really good, and it does feel like something that's really good to be a part of at the moment.
What do you think it's doing for your personal game, Elliot? Because Simon Russ, the new manager at Counties, when you look at what can often happen at this level of football is managers can do the rounds of the clubs. One manager can manage 4 or 5 clubs in his career over one division. But Simon Russ doesn't obviously have that. A lot of players are figuring him out, getting used to him. And his style of play seems to be quite possession-based. But I was listening to Simon Wilson interview last week, and he was talking about how many shots per game we're having, how many attacking passes, etc. And it's obviously something that he is focusing on, keeping the ball but moving the whole team up the pitch, which I think when we properly see it flowing, I do think there's an exciting future. But what does it do for your game playing with a manager like that?
Yeah, the training sessions and the way that how much details kind of goes into the preparation of games is really good to see. Obviously, coming from a more part-time setup where obviously coaches don't have as much time to prepare for things as to a club like this where sort of the details are really put in there. It's really good to see, and you can see how much preparation goes into each opponent, trying to work out what their weaknesses are, how we might be able to affect them in terms of kind of growing and learning new things as a player. It's a really good place to come as well for that.
I just want to bring you two lads in as well, because we mentioned it. Elliot comes from Chorley with Harry Cardwell. Dicko and Matty Mainwaring, 2 Stockport County Hall of Fame legends. They go on then to play at clubs after the time at County. What's it like when you? I start with you lads, Dicko and Matty. What's it like when you meet up again? I mean, I know you didn't follow the same path as Elliot, as in you both went to the same club together at the same time. But when you go into a new dressing room and you kind of, straight away you've got that connection there.
Well, it's great, mate. It's just natural. Obviously, me and Matt obviously had our time at Stockport together, then we went our separate ways, and obviously we came back at Stalybridge, and it was just like you'd never been away from each other. It's you the banter's there, how each other play. Obviously, your games have changed slightly throughout the years, but that connection, that link up, that it's just nice to have a familiar face, and I think it helps. Like Elliot said, it was fantastic for him to go there with Harry as well. It just makes it a lot easier. You've got the nerves sometimes in the first training session with the lads and stuff. You don't know a lot of a few faces from playing against them, but it's kind of a comfort thing that as well for you to know someone, have a familiar face. It kind of bends you in a bit.
Yeah, is that what it's?
Yeah, I think on top of that, I think when me and Liam sort of reunited on the football pitch, I think we were both a little bit more senior, weren't we, than we were back in the day. So I think that helps as well. You've got young lads coming through. We could take them under our wing almost because we've been there, we've experienced what they're experiencing, and we've both come from good levels as well. So I think, having that bond and the lads and just pulling everyone together and sort of acting as, I don't want to say mentors, but senior members of the squad. And trying to drive everyone in the right direction. It is great. It does help, like Liam says, that it's more natural.
Especially when you've got, you obviously Elliot and Harry are in a different situation that me and Matt were in. They're in a team now fighting for promotion. Wanting to go. We were in a relegation battle, and I feel like they kind of count on the senior players more in that aspect to keep the lads' heads up and a bit of motivation. Like you say about taking them under the wing, it's a different situation. But like I say, when you come back to another team with a player you played with before, or someone you're close with, it does help massively. I think.
I think it helps on the pitch as well, Chris. Like when in terms of position sense, Liam being a big, strong striker, and me being like a ball playing midfielder. I think when you're flicking balls around the corner blind when you're under pressure, I know that he's going to be there. And it's having that relationship. I know that he's going to pin somebody and make things happen, and vice versa. He knows that I'm going to play blind around the corner, and he's going to expect it. He's going to be in the right position at the right time, and just things like that. Knowing each other inside out, on and off the pitch, it helps momentum and it helps cohesion amongst the squad.
I guess that's relevant. I guess that's relevant for you, Elliot. The midfielder. Okay, I think Matty played a bit deeper than you do, but in a sense, he's still that midfielder linking up with the striker, if you like, and there's probably some resonance there.
Yeah, definitely. Like even when I've been playing with Harry, just in the last sort of 2 or 3 games which we played together for Stockport, I kind of know what he's expecting and how he sort of reacts, what type of cross he might want in the box, or if he's coming short, what he might do with the ball. So definitely stuff like that helps. Obviously, when you come into a new team and you're kind of learning how different people play and what sort of suits them best, then it's good to have someone there that you already know what they sort of need and what suits them best in terms of how they play.
Ask a silly question. I don't want to keep you too much longer, Elliot, but ask a silly question. The mood in the camp seems great at the minute when we're down at games, especially like after Tuesday night's win. The mood in the camp seems great. The confidence seems great. Playoffs, at least, looks like it's on the cards.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone, obviously, like getting a late goal like that to win a game, that can sometimes be better than kind of coasting games and winning them at this stage of the season, because it kind of gives us that belief to think if it is level in a game, or we've done it before, we can score late. So that's obviously a big boost. And obviously, I've just come into this league, but you can just tell that there is a good amount of quality in this team. And if everything kind of clicks together, I don't feel like there's many teams that would be able to handle with this team in terms of the strength of the starting 11 and the squad. Like there's a lot of quality in the team.
I don't want to again. I don't want to put this on you, or if maybe if you're still kind of
he's got to.
Yeah. He's still going to say it though.
Something that over the summer and the first lockdowns and stuff, when we were doing these interviews with club legends, and we would have successful players from the 90s that came back and spoke about their times, winning promotions and cup runs and whatever. And then when we did it again with Dicko and the players that were with him in the Wembley winning team, they both said similar. Both sets of players said similar things about just having that. Never panicking, Dicko, you probably remember, he was speaking about like you just always thought you were going to win. It wasn't like, it wasn't an arrogance. It wasn't you weren't walking around but kind of being bullish or whatever. It was just, like you say, that belief. It looks like, I know we had a bit of a dodgy run, if you like, if that's the right way of putting it, where the goals weren't really going in, but we were absolutely dominating teams, and it seemed like every week there was some piece of misfortune, a bad refereeing decision or an off the line clearance or whatever, and it was stopping County getting that win. Now that corner seems to have been turned. Do you feel like that attitude, that belief might be coming into the squad?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said before, I think when I just was kind of coming into the squad, they did look like it was quite unlucky with a lot of different like refereeing decisions. I think a few red cards and stuff were overturned, and all sorts was going on with that really. But definitely now there seems like there's a confidence there. I think the game against Solihull obviously gave the lads a lot of confidence in terms of just seeing that ball hit the back of the net. And you've got to remember that obviously there's teams in this league that have kind of got nothing to lose at the moment. Teams like Barnet, who we played on Tuesday, they're a team that came there with absolutely nothing to lose, and they've got that freedom. They're going to play with that freedom. So teams like that can be dangerous. So I do think it was a really good win on Tuesday.
That Solihull game, by the way, was ridiculous. Every couple of minutes. What's it like being on the pitch when it's just goal, 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 goal?
Well, I started on the bench that game, and I was just thinking like, Gaffer, just bring me on. I might get a goal here. So I was just thinking like the game was just so open, and they kind of looked like they wanted to carry on attacking, even when they went down to 10 men. And then games where you kind of a few up in a game, as like an attacking player, you're just dying to get on the pitch to go out there and kind of enjoy yourself. You don't get that situation a lot of times where you're a few goals up, they have a man down. On the opposite side of it, they're the worst games to play in when you're on that team. So you kind of got to enjoy it and rub it in the face when you've got a chance.
So Elliot, new signing. What was your song?
I sang "Stand By Me."
I like it.
Just went for a standard one, really. I didn't want to overcomplicate things.
No? Can you show us?
Can you? I can't really do it.
I don't know it. Can you show us?
There's nothing worse.
Lyrics.
when you're at it's time for a new club. Obviously, it's what's it called?
Initiation.
Yeah. It's usually sat at an away game in a hotel having pre-match, and all you hear is ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
And that's the whole world. You just sink into it.
Gotta be ready.
I played for 11 league clubs, and it never got easier. I was like sweating, nervous, shaking, buttering my bread 4 times. I don't even want it. Just thinking, I wonder if they forget. No, mate, never forget. Ding,
it's horrible
ding,
when you got to do it. But...
Stood on a chair, just singing your heart out.
Mate, you're 6'5". If you don't want to do it, don't do it.
Yeah, you're not allowed here. You can't. You got to do
allowed, mate. No, you're not allowed.
Do it, mate.
Part
and parcel of it. Part and parcel of it.
What was Harry's song? What was Harry's song?
He kind of went for it a little bit more. He sung Drake. Just hold on, we're going home.
Oh,
brilliant!
You can kind of give it a bit of He's giving it a bit like.
That's our tracking it, mate.
Yeah, we voice note that to each other. We clip up with real effort as well.
Yeah, really mean it. He knows that when I'm singing it, I've got my eyes closed.
Yeah, probably the car as well. When you've got a younger kid on either joining on loan or new signing, I remember we used to get them to really, really bad news this, but we used to get them in the changing rooms. Normally in pre-season, where you've got a few hours to spare in between sessions, everyone's bored, they're knackered. Get them in the changing rooms, get them a brush out of the cupboard, flip it upside down, and get them to chat it up in front of everyone. Chat the brush up. You're on a night out.
Chat the brush up.
You need to pull this brush. What are you going to do about it? And just got the biggest centre half stood in front of the door, so they can't get past. You got to chat the brush up. You know what I mean? And to be honest, most of them do it. You get the odd one that's kicking and screaming, and then they just whipped into.
You can't be shy in the changing room.
Not one bit.
You can't say no. That's the worst thing you can do.
On that topic, Elliot, how would you chat up a brush?
This feels like a second initiation now. Getting asked to sing chat up brushes. I'm not prepared.
To be fair, I wasn't prepared for that either. Listen. Mate, it's been a pleasure having you on. It looks like there's touch wood, a successful spell ahead of us, and hopefully, who knows, playoffs maybe more to come.
Hopefully.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Perfect.
Elliot Newby, thank you very much for joining us, mate.
All the best for the rest of the season, Elliot, mate.
Thanks, guys.
Good work, pal.
Thank you.
I don't know where that came from, Matty.
Chat the brush up.
Yeah.
Right, well, there's so much more. Honestly, it's brutal.
That's how we got all our experience over the years.
You're on the other end of it, and then you grow up, and you end up you're the one dishing out those little things.
What
your initiation songs then when you were?
Oh mate, I've had that many. I've had what have I had? Turn Back the Hands of Time. I've had a bit of Steel. I've had Me and Mrs. Jones. Everything. Sitting on the dock of the bay. Old and Goldens.
You've got a decent voice as well, you know.
Really, really, really unfashionable when he said, "Oh, it was a Drake song," and I have no idea what that song is.
Right.
We'll sing it for you one time.
Yeah, one time we'll get a voice note. Don't play it.
Yeah.
Don't play it. We don't want any DJs. Stealing our artwork. Do we? We don't want.
I used to do
no copyright.
I used to do Live Forever, Oasis, but like with a stance and that, and the hands behind the back and all that.
Oh yeah, with a proper coat on.
Yeah, I did do very well. I got buzzed off, But,
to be fair, I don't think Liam Gallagher can do it that well anymore, but people still pay for it.
not wrong.
It's Elliot Newby's come in, And I think I didn't want to put it to him because I don't know obviously the full conversations that have happened over the years, but he's one of those names that probably for the last 3 or 4 years you've heard. Well, we're linked with Elliot Newby. You've seen what he's done at Chorley. You know he could be coming, so he's obviously a player that the club know.
Well, he's been involved, hasn't he, with all the the great cup run they had. He's playing against some big teams and putting some big performances, and that's the reason why he's earned his chance now.
That's generally the rule of football, isn't it? Unless you've got millions like Man City or whatever, you cherry pick the best from a little bit lower down. That's how football works. And like Liam said before, nail on the head, he's got a cracking chance now to stamp his authority in this division.
Yeah,
it looks like he's taking it as well. It looks like he's. I don't know. I don't want to say he looks like he knows he's got a good chance and he's taking it because he's obviously a talented footballer. But when he's out there playing, he's a player that plays with confidence. He moves around the pitch really well. He
looks hungry as well. He looks hungry to win, like
those attributes.
Just
like you want to deal.
Yeah. Just going back to what he was saying about being on the bench, and he's like, "Come on, Gaffer, get me on. I can score here." That's the attitude you want.
Yeah,
that kind of attitude from any kind of player, but especially an attacking player. You want to be on the bench. You don't want to be on the bench. You want to be on the pitch scoring goals. You don't want to be rested. Players, you look at big game players. You look at professional Ronaldo, best player in the world for me. Doesn't want to be rested ever. Wants to play every single minute of every single game, and that's what footballers want. If you don't want to be playing, then you're not in the right game.
Harry Kane the other week, I think he's bagged 2, didn't he? Came off with a face on him. His hat-trick.
Yeah, no, fair play. But let's have a look at County then, because the win against Barnet, I didn't want to say it again. I didn't want to say it while he was on the call, but maybe I shouldn't be thinking like this, or maybe I should as a fan from the outside. I don't know. Watching the game, I never felt worried. Do you know what I mean? The County looked so comfortable.
Yeah.
Even only at 1-0 up, and then even when Barnet equalised, you still just kind of knew. I think it doesn't feel like we're in the blip anymore. I feel like we've got enough to get us over the line here. We've still got, this young Jack Stretton who's, two sub appearances, 2 goals. Yeah. He's still to come off the bench. So you know that there's something there. Players like Elliot Newby, he's on the pitch, he's making a difference. I just didn't. Maybe I don't know. Is it the right way to speak? I don't know.
I think it is positive. You look like I explained before about the last 18 months. It looks like the club's finally started to go in the right direction, and there's focus on the future and moving up leagues and positivity.
Yeah.
And
it's expectations, isn't it?
Yeah, and I take it back to the season, obviously the Wembley season, and we were talking about before the belief, and it's like we've not scored, but it's all right because we're going to score. And there's always that belief. The fans have that belief. The management, the players, everyone involved in the club, honestly believe that we're going to go in this game now. We're going to win, and it seems like they've got that belief back. Obviously, after that, we all have ruts. You all have spells where you're not performing, or you're not getting the results you should be getting, and it happens. And you've got to. It's the way you deal with that and react to that. And it looks like they've reacted in the best possible way. The drumming at Solihull, you've got the Barnet win. That's just as important as the 6-0 and just as enjoyable, if not more, them late last minute winners. You feel like you've earned that. I've earned that. We've earned that 3 points now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. For me, it looks like it's not an arrogance, and it's even from the fans, like you say yourself. There's that belief that I'm not worried because we're going to score. I'm very confident we're going to score goals. We're going to get some out of this game, and that's just a stepping stone of what's to come.
Yeah, great finish as well to seal the win.
Yeah.
All I can think about now is initiations. I sort of like so. Okay, you guys don't worry. I'm not going to ask for any initiation because I couldn't do it myself. Who were the best and the worst initiations that you saw at County or elsewhere?
Oh, but that man! I was on loan at. Where was I at? I might have not been on loan. I was after I broke my ankle before I came back to County. I was at Port Vale, and there was a young lad there. I can't remember his name, and mate, his voice was he was practically a singer. A record label wanted to sign him. He was that good, and he just got up and the lads used to get him singing in changing rooms. It was unbelievable.
That's not fun, that though, is it? You want to be minging, but
you just sat there like, oh yeah, we've had some bad ones, mate. Like choking up and forgetting the words to like Eminem, 8 Mile and stuff like that. Just getting bread rolls thrown at them and stuff like that. Honestly, I think someone threw a glass at someone once.
Really?
Honestly, mate. Honestly,
was it you?
No, I might be the guy. Yeah. I think I was the one who got the glass thrown at me.
Did you bring it down?
No,
yeah. Do you remember a player called Josh? I think Josh Walker. I had a little spell at Scunny for one pre-season once. He sang "Stand By Me." It's absolutely brilliant. I couldn't sing, but I mean, proper showman. You know what I mean? Freddie Mercury singing "Stand By Me." It's absolutely brilliant. Walked everyone around the hotel. Got everyone involved, all the audience and all that. Top draw, yeah. Get
work the audience, work the crowd.
Oh, work the audience. Yeah, I mean, I went straight after him because I was on an island to nothing. Me, absolutely brutal. Yeah, he was class, absolutely class.
Yeah, there's been some good ones.
I suppose they're the best kind, aren't they? When they can't sing, but they
can't sing. Yeah,
they're going for it.
Yeah,
mate. Honestly,
but they've prepared well.
Your hands are sweating. You're walking. So what we used to do is you used to have like you get up in the morning, you have breakfast. If you got an away game, you'd go down the Friday, have some food or whatever. Sometimes you'd mix it up. See, sometimes it was awful because if you didn't do it, you kind of hoped that it'd be on the Friday night when you got down there. You'd have the evening meal, right? Ding, 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 ding. Song. Stand up on a chair, use whatever for a microphone. But if they didn't do it, you're thinking, when are they going to do this? You're thinking about it's playing in your mind. You get up the next morning, you have breakfast, and you have to go for a walk. You just have a little stroll around the grounds of the hotel you were staying in or whatever. And then you go in for pre-match. You think, surely not just before a game. Hey, ding, 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 ding. I'm like that at me. Fucking hands are sweating. And you just got to do it. You can't not do it. It's part and parcel of being a footballer.
You know what? Well, if that's the case, straight before the game, I bet he plays so well. Like, you're just totally relaxed. The worst thing that happened to you has already happened.
Yeah, the worst thing. So well. Yeah, I know. It's not as bad as scoring on goal. Yeah. Honestly, it's just like I say, I've been at that many clubs, and it never got any easier.
You feel like one of the boys, then, don't you? When you stand.
I did. I remember I did. I had a belter. I had initiation song, and that's when I sung. What did I sing? R. Kelly, Turn Back the Hands of Time.
Oh, that's a big one, that.
Oh, mate, I smashed it as well.
I don't doubt it, mate. I hear you weekly. I don't doubt it.
If I could turn.
Yeah.
Nailed it, mate.
You
know where I was? You know where I was? Marbella with Rochdale.
Oh, yeah. Think of worse places to be.
Just before I went to Lineker's. No, it was in February. It was pissing down. It was clever. It was close. We end up in some club. Honestly, mate, no word of a lie. We end up in a club, and this DJ just kept playing 50 Cent songs because that's what we kept requesting. It was like a salsa club, and you had all these Spanish people in there in a line doing salsa and stuff. Next minute, all these dickheads from fucking Manchester rock up from England. Rock up. You've got Flitcroft in his Havaiana flip flops, a pair of shorts. Just giving it in the DJ box like that. Hilly, steaming, Keith Hill steaming, telling me, come on, you're going to sign for us, About 3 months later, I was like, you can go back to Barnsley now, you shit. Honestly, mate, it was just crazy. Just I think we'd been knocked out of the cup or something like that. We were having a little 3 days away, training as well. We trained over there 3 days. I mean, a night out. Well, mate, it was class in Marbella in Feb.
Dicko, Chris won't know this, I don't think, but tell him about Friday court case.
All right, yeah. So Kangaroo Court,
mate. Chris, this is a laugh. Honestly.
Well, if there's any fines and stuff, so obviously you had your committee, you had like a couple of seniors, 2 or 3 senior players, and maybe one of the younger players to balance it up. And if there was any fines or any discrepancies or anything for the week, or if someone had spotted you doing something that's a fine, like pissing in the shower, no flip flops in the shower.
Yeah, just daft little things like that.
Anything like that. If you didn't own up to it, come Friday, it was kangaroo court.
Yeah. So it'd be logged. It would be logged,
and what it'd be is the prosecution would stand up and he'd state his case and he'd say, I'm calling this person out because on this date, and they'd have to defend themselves. And if found guilty, the fine was doubled. And if you appeal, it was trebled. If you appeal and lost, it was trebled.
But that aside, though, there was other little punishments. Sometimes I remember people used to get 20 lashes, so they get full squad. Everyone would get one whack on the ass with it.
Or a flick of the ear.
A flick of the ear, brutal. Or they'd have to run around the ground singing with nothing on, naked, just football boots or shinnies. You'd
made sure if it was December, January, February, you'd made sure you'd owned up to every fine, because imagine flicking your ears in December. It's well cold outside, mate. It's not good. It's not good. You've got two
thing. Did the
ear you've got 2 cauliflowers on your ear while you're training.
It's just cartilage. It's just cartilage. That's all it is. It hurts, mate. It hurts.
It's not nice. It's not nice.
It's not nice. I promise you. Remember, we used to have a YT called Tom Baldwin. Really nice kid, Irish kid. And he didn't speak much, especially he's having lunch near the pros. And I was a first year pro at the time. Dicko, you'd moved on by this point. Sat with Rainsy and all the other lads, Rosie and that, and Johnny Mullins and stuff. And Tom was just sat with us, just the way it sort of worked out. We're having lunch together. And I remember, I think Rainsy had got a new car. And we're all talking about it. And he didn't really speak, Tom, to the pros. Obviously, being a kid, like, you don't speak too much. And he just popped up, "What, if you got that out of your relegation bonus?" And we all just like looked at each other like this. No one said anything. And about 5 days later, can Tom Baldwin step up to the stand, please, on Friday? I think he got 20 lashes, a flip flop off everyone on the arse, bare arse. Yeah,
crazy, mate.
Crazy. That sort of things used to happen. He had no idea it was coming. His face dropped like this. You're joking? All the strength just drained from him.
Do you remember the boot room at what's it called? Thingy Farm, where we used to train.
Manor Farm, yeah.
Manor Farm. Yeah. Remember the dingy little boot room?
Yeah.
And we used to get someone in there, turn the lights off, and just batter them. Yeah. Like you'd get sacked if HR found out about that, mate. Because
you would.
It was like,
you know what? It was bad news, wasn't it?
Kicking balls,
stuff you couldn't do now.
Volleying them in there. The room was about that big, so you couldn't miss.
You couldn't even change your mind in there. Let alone change your
we had the young lads doing performances. We had to put a full play on at Christmas. The white team have to do a play at Christmas. That's it. Pick a theme, or you've got to take the piss. They've all got to do something so they could take the piss out of one player, or I think one of them put flippers on and put the feet out 10-2 like mine, and just say just try to head the ball, missing and falling over.
It's got to be a proper roast, or it don't count.
It's got to be a roast. You've got to roast the first. The one and only time throughout the season you're allowed to roast the first team players. It was some good boys, some belters, mate.
But you know what? I got it because I was doing particularly well as an 18-year-old. Like, broke into the side in first division as a kid. I got hammered for months. I got proper hammered. I'd come back to my gear in my pigeonhole. Then I remember once this was the first one. This was the start. My gear was it was in a circle of tape, like jeans, jacket, top, coat, everything, just in a circle of tape, like a ring, like a tile. And I was like, right, okay, that'll take me 10 minutes to cut everything out. Did that. The next day, went to go home after a shower. My keys had gone. So where's my keys? We looked outside. My car's gone. Where's my car? Looking around for it, thinking, do I need to phone the police? I look up the pitch, second pitch at the bottom at Manor Farm. My car's locked between 2 nets, padlocked. Everyone else has gone home because I used to do a bit and that, stay behind. Thinking, how am I supposed to get that out? I had to get someone to get a key to unlock it. Socks cut. So you slide your socks up your leg and they go right behind.
Your toes come out.
Just
deep heat in your boxers.
Laces pulled out your boots. Deep heat in your boxers. Yeah.
Your trainers tied together 150 knots. That's it. Just if anyone coming in rascal gear. That's all it is. Yeah, if anyone coming in spicy rascal gear, you knew it was just getting hung up from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Taped up. Jean legs just tied up in triple knots. That tight, you can't get them out. You've got to go home in your training shorts. Horrible men.
Which was a fine, by the way.
What?
Going home in your training shorts was a fine.
Yeah, you get fined for going home in your training gear. Horrible, mate. Honestly, I remember. Who was it? Someone got a new car. and they just drove it on the training pitch and ping balls at it. Oh, it was bad. It was nuts, mate. Who was it? So one of the younger lads, I can't remember his name. I can't remember who it was. And his missus went on nuts, like a fans thing. I think the lads bought about 40 copies of Nuts and just pinned her picture up all over the changing rooms. Oh mate, he just come in. He was like a first year pro, second year pro. Oh mate, honestly, it was just horrible.
You get tated as a young kid. You get tated.
I missed all that out because obviously I went out of football at academy level, played Sunday league, and I signed pro at a later age, so I missed out on all having to wash people's boots. And
you're 6'5" as well.
Yeah, having to wash people's boots and all the shit that comes with it. Staying to getting all the kit in, getting the nets in, getting the nets out. I missed all that. I just came straight into having it all done for me. So I was quite lucky. But yeah, there's been some, and it's like old school. It's part and parcel of growing up and
it's class. It's class.
You've got a little coward boy in the corner. He kind of brings them out the shell a bit.
That's one thing I think that the fact that you've just it's quite poignant. The fact that you've just literally sat here for 10 minutes talking about brutal punishments, fines, running naked, ear flicked, and then you've signed it off with, it was class.
It was class. An ear flick. I'd take an ear flick all day long.
Yeah.
But it's better than standing up with shin pads on and nothing else and singing.
Yeah. So just finally then on the initiation songs, do any of the other county lads? Can you remember any of their guys?
I think Mike Malcolm sang some Jay-Z rap and just got absolute. I think Tess Bramble threw a loaf at him. It was that bad. I think he threw a loaf of Warbies at him.
I'll be honest, I can't remember, lads.
Honestly, mate.
I don't know if the microphone picked it up, but I just snorted laughing. Peppa Pig. Listen, gents, I think that's a worthy place to wrap things up tonight. It's an eye opener. It was a conversation topic that I didn't see coming, but it's been a bit of an eye opener into what goes on behind the scenes of professional football.
Brutal. It's brutal, isn't it?
Boys, all the very best. We'll be back next week. I know we said there was going to be a guest on this week. It's my fault that he's not here. But next week, we have an absolute leg end joining us on the show.
Another one.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. I will definitely not let this week happen again. But yeah, it's my fault. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Top one, fellas.